What is up, everybody? Bobby here. It is time for the breakdown and all the stuff that goes along with it. The patrons on Patreon need to be spotlighted, so here we go. Thank you, executive producer of the Platinum status, Mr. Corey Hicks, gold executive producer, Sheldon Benedict. Then we got our executive producers, Nick Milicia, James Johnson, Jesse Armstrong, Glauco Schaffer, David Ray, Mike Drummie, Brendan Myers, Aaron Doherty, Martini Jean, Joel Brooks, Kieran Smith, and our newest Patreon member, Mr. Alex Van Aken. Thank you so much, sir. Be sure to go check out Alex's work over on OK Beast. Does phenomenal stuff. Please go take a look. Check him out. So, let's get on with the show. As Nintendo fans, there are things that we want. Things that we feel are needed. Like the Virtual Console. Or a proper voice chat option. However, time and again, we are left feeling disappointed, like we aren't ever heard. Well, it's time for If I Ran Nintendo. What is up, everybody, and welcome to episode 2 of If I Ran Nintendo. I am Bobby, the Nintendo Guru. Thank you guys for joining me. Thank you for the kind words on last episode. It meant the world to me that you guys supported that show and everything. Like, thank you so very much. I appreciate that. So, let's kick this episode off like I do each and every episode with the shout-outs.
Mother lovin', Geek Outs, Bobby. Please start with your geek out. I can't wait to hear what you are geeking out about.
I want to start off, I want to give a shout out to a good friend of mine, been friends for a long time now, Mark Carabin, Warp Whistle Gaming. He does Warp Whistle Podcast. He's the CaNERDian. You know what I mean? You guys see him around. He does a 1-minute video every single day where he caps off, talks about news segments. Go follow him on Twitter. I'll put the links down in the description below so you guys go check out all his work of what he's doing. He's phenomenal stuff. WarpWhistleGaming.com. He's got it soup to nuts, killing it each and every week. First topic, only topic basically for today, 2018. So Nintendo President Kimishima said a few weeks ago now that he wanted to move 20 million units in 2018. So I thought, why not? Let's have a discussion. How do we achieve this? If I ran Nintendo, how would I achieve this? So I started to think about it and started to put some numbers together and to think of what could essentially happen. We're not even a year out right now, and they are at 10 million. They're hoping to have 14 million by year's end. So in the grand scheme of things, what are they looking to do? Move an additional 6 million units. That's really not a lot in the big picture of things. Obviously, number one is to keep the momentum going, and that's the main focus of games. But the first thing you need to do in order to accomplish this 20 million units in 2018 is real simple. You need to make sure that the supply is there. You got to make sure that the supply chain is not broken, that when people want to go to the store and buy these things, they are able to buy them. Right now, Japan is the major issue, I feel, in my eyes, from what I go to the store, I look, I see some units. There's not a lot, don't get me wrong. It's not an abundance, a huge abundance, but there are Switches in the wild, per se, and you are able to get them. Japan is a focus, Japan is an issue, but as a Nintendo, I feel like we need to make sure that we are able to supply the consumer if they want them. You could probably move, 20 million just in Japan alone, honestly, if you want to get serious with it. Number two, I think this is the easiest way to make this happen, honestly. So if they can accomplish the 14 million, we need to move another 6 million units. How do you do that? I think the easiest way to do that, and this is the number one way, is to start to supply variant versions of the Switch. What does that mean? Well, you look at the 3DS. The 3DS ultimately had numerous versions of it. I'm not talking about just Joy-Cons that we've gotten. I'm talking about dock. I'm talking about the back plate. I'm talking about, yes, Joy-Cons. Soup to nuts. Make this a focus point. The rumor right now is Animal Crossing in 2018. Make an Animal Crossing Switch. The other rumor is Pokemon 2018. make a Pokemon Switch 2 versions. Whatever the 2 versions are that the game are, you make variants of both. Again, not just Joy-Cons. Joy-Cons are cool, but they're not moving units. You get a few people that will buy them. I did a poll recently on Twitter. 51% said they would not double dip. 49% said absolutely they would double dip. So that answer alone right there tells you that if you sold 14 million in 2017 and you need to essentially sell another 6 million, if you offered people the ability to double dip and buy a second Switch, that could eat up a good number that you need to move. Now granted, would you essentially do another 6 million units just in that alone? Absolutely not. And I'm not crazy enough to think that that's the case. However, I do feel if you did pop out 1 million Animal Crossing Switches, 2 million Pokemon Switches, I think you move them pretty easily. Real easily, honestly. And as long as they look sharp, I think it helps your battle and helps your cause. So that's number 2. Number 3 has to be the games, and what the success of year 1 was predicated off the idea of continuing to push forward with an exclusive title each and every month. A lot of gamers have this belief that like exclusives don't mean anything anymore, and I think that's absolutely wrong. Exclusives mean the world. If you have a game on your console that you can get nowhere else, and that game just so happens to be the hype and the madness at that moment, people are going to want your console because they're going to want to play that game, and you have the only ticket in town. Look at Breath of the Wild, look at Mario Odyssey. Those 2 games moved the needle big time for Nintendo. So when you look at that, what games could you bring that are going to essentially push you over the top and get you going? Again, Animal Crossing and Pokemon are the 2 big ones I feel in 2018 that pushed the needle. Smash Deluxe. I think that if they bring a Smash Deluxe, that really opens it up and brings a further crowd to there. So what do I offer with a Smash Deluxe? Obviously, you get all the maps, all the levels that are in Smash on Wii U, everything that's on the 3DS, all the DLC bundled into one, and then maybe 1 or 2 additional brand new characters that you can't get anywhere else. Throw in the amiibo, get the frenzy going again, and get people fired up. Real simple. I think a major thing that needs to happen to help push the Switch sales is 3DS. I think it's time for that to go away. If you don't give people the option to buy a Nintendo console somewhere else and put their money elsewhere, you force them kind of and you tunnel them in to your one Nintendo console, which would be the Switch. I think at this point, sales are winding down. Everything's kind of dwindling down to a stop. It's time to cut the cord and let that system go away and focus wholeheartedly on the Switch in 2018. That's where everything and the drive needs to be. When 2018 rolls around, the holiday season for 2018, Nintendo needs to work with retailers, and they need to, for once and for all, offer a true price cut on the Switch. This past holiday, now I know it's the new system, but when you looked at it, Nintendo lost November. They did not win the November console wars against Xbox, against PlayStation. What did that have to do with? Well, it has to do with the fact that they cut the price of the PS4, they cut the price of the Xbox One throughout November, Black Friday, things of that nature. You could pick up an Xbox One S for $189. That is a huge cut. So when a mom and pop are in the store and they go, do we buy little Timmy an Xbox, a Switch, or a PS4? Price will dictate what they can do, especially if they have multiple kids. If they buy the Xbox One at $189, they can get an additional controller for another $50, $60. Now we're at about $230, and we're still not where the Switch is. Now you have a game you can buy on top of that. And by the way, that $189 came with a game. So when you're looking at value, Nintendo has to get aggressive, I feel, come November. Now, I'm not talking a $100 price drop, but if you move that needle down just a little bit, come in at $250, $240, somewhere where you know they're going to buy a game. So you give them the console for $240. They go buy a game. Now you're right back where you need to be. Buying another game, you're good to go, and you're making money again. Plus, you know they're going to wind up buying Pro Controllers and all the accessories. There's so many accessories for Nintendo right now. But I think that when holiday season comes around, they need to get aggressive with the pricing and give it some attention and look at it and seriously believe that they have to get competitive and look at this and go like, 300 isn't going to work. It may, but I don't think it's going to be a strong, solid push that they want it to be at the end of the day. So that is all. Thank you guys for watching If I Ran Nintendo. Now the question gets posed to you. If you ran Nintendo, what things would you do in 2018 to push the sales over the 20 million unit mark for Nintendo? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, please slap the like button, share it with your friends. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. Follow me Instagram, Twitter, @Nintendo Gurus. That is all. Peace out, Preston.